Okay, this project deals with another soft cut, 4x6. But what I'd like to do is start off by showing you some works of other artists and also some student work. This is a portrait of a man by the name of William S. Rice. He was born in Pennsylvania, came out to California to teach, and became one of the preeminent printmakers. Did a lot of beautiful work with color. Since we're not really dealing with color this year, I've just picked out some of his black and white prints to show you. Okay, here's a windmill, and when you look at it, you know, he's got this windmill right in the center here. But look how he gives the illusion of it moving as it spins. And also look at the clouds. He's framed everything in a big white cloud, and then you can see how he created the sky behind by just cutting horizontal lines. Cypress tree. One of the things I like about this, look at the positive shapes and the negative shapes. A lot of students, when they do something like this, they try to put everything right in the middle and have negative space on both sides. Much stronger when you can balance it this way. But look at the textures he creates. Look how he gives the illusion of the cypress twisting. Really a nice piece. This is Alameda boats. He has a nice rhythm of the boats being lined up there at the docks. Look how he creates the reflection of the water. Very nice. Another one of his pieces. Look at the background, how he changes the angles to create variation in the background hills. I love this mill. Look how he just gives an indication of the rock wall here. You just see little bits and pieces of the stonework. Okay? But look how busy everything is here. You've got a little bit quieter space here, and then the negative space that arches around it. Look how he handles the sky here. You know, he just cuts and cuts, and every so often he stops and starts the new cut, and it just gives a nice texture to the sky. This is called winter tracery. It's basically a creek that's coming down, and it looks like there's snow in the background. And so he has this nice dark creek that draws your eye and swoops it around. So that's your direction of movement, drawing your eye in. Okay, this was a young man. His name was Everett Ruiz. He was traveling throughout the Southwest. He was doing prints and trading them for food and supplies and things like that, writing poetry and such. Unfortunately, he vanished in the desert, and it's believed that he was murdered and whatever, and his body was never found. And National Geographic even did a whole story on him. But he was just a young man and very talented. Look at some of the prints that he did. Okay, this is a grove of trees in California where he was from. He was from the LA area. And just some beautiful black and whites. This one, you know, he really made it a graphic display of simple black and whites. The black, of course, being the negative space, the white being the positive. This is Square Tower at Mesa Verde. And one of the things I like about this, he has a lot of vertical lines. And so the sandstone he represented with horizontal lines. So it gives a nice match to the different things. Creates contrast, but also creates harmony. An old tree here. Very, very simple. When you try to figure out how to do a mountain or rocks or things like this is a really good example of breaking it down into planes and making one side dark, the other in the light. Monument Valley, just big monolithic shapes, and once again, you know, what's in the shadows is dark, what has the sun on it is light. Now the California Coast piece. This is a printmaker by the name of Royden Card. He's a local Utah artist, and so he's a painter, but a printmaker also. I know he got his degree in printmaking. And so this is a familiar scene to many of you. This is Double Arch at Arches National Monument, National Park. There's Delicate Arch. We see that a lot. An iconic emblem of Utah. This is down at Zion's, just different things, but notice how stark everything is, black to white. It's one of the things that he likes to do. Okay, another print from Zion's. And I've always liked the way that he cuts his outline, makes it very rough. Very similar to what Everett Ruiz was doing with black and white facets. Okay, these are just some odd prints that I like to show. I love this. You see a lot of zebras done with relief print. Quite often it's the whole head or the whole zebra or something like this. I like this one simply because the way they cropped everything. You're looking at just part of the head, part of the neck, a little bit of the chest. And a zebra is very graphic because of the lines, and so it's something that printmakers love to do. But you can do things like this. But think about cropping it down rather than showing the entire piece. I like this one once again because of the simplicity. You know, you see the trunk, you see all the branches, the twigs and everything. It's simply called winter. But also, once again, the trunk is not in the middle. The trunk is clear over on this side. And then all the branches out here balance this very dark trunk. So once again, they're thinking about asymmetrical balance. Something I would like you to think about from time to time. One of my favorite all-time prints. This is from a printmaker in England. It's called dubbing. And so it's the workers putting tar in a boat that's up on dry dock and everything. But I love the rhythm that you see here. And then the movement as it comes out. This is a piece that I used in the lectures on elements of design. It's just a wonderful piece. Now I hope somebody recognizes this. This is the front of the school, and this was done by a student after he had seen the works by William Rice and seen what he could do with the clouds in the sky. Unfortunately, he didn't put his name on it. I remember it was a guy. I just don't remember who it was. But anyway, look at the beautiful texture that he put on the front. And then here's the cloud with the sky in contrast there. But a very nice piece. And it's done on a 4x6. The same thing that you're about to do. Oh, just another shot. Okay. This is Lauren Masuga with her koi fish. And once again, 4x6 format. And so, you know, nice movement starting from this corner, coming into this corner. So well balanced. Then she put the little designs in the water. Okay, here's a big sunflower with a cow over here. And so one of our students, Grace Moore, did this a number of years ago. Once again, 4x5 format. Very nice piece. Warm rays coming over Park City. So if you look at this, you can see the different levels of the mountains coming up and down. And this was done by one of our students clear back in 06. But a very nice piece. And then this was done by Maxine, her lighthouse. I've used this for patterned backgrounds. Really nice, very reminiscent of Vincent van Gogh and his paintings. But nice contrast between the sky, the water, and the shoreline. Very nice piece. Just a simple piece. I don't even know who did it. I can't remember. Somebody's snow boots or whatever. And then this is somebody who did a piece, a sunflower basically, or a daisy. But one of the things I like about it, once again, is this is not dead set in the middle. She moved it up and slightly to the side, which makes it a much more interesting composition than just having a target right in the middle. So your assignment is a 4x6 soft cut, so it's the soft one, no backing. You can do portrait, you can do landscape, it doesn't matter. The paper that you should be printing on will be a 7x9. So when you print, you should have a good border all the way around. So the things that I want you to think about when you're doing this is think about the different elements of design. When you were going through the test, the quizzes on it, you know, hopefully it gave you some things to think about, but come up with a good composition, good balance. You can use contrast, you can do this, you know, you're far enough into this class that you have a lot of techniques that you've experimented with. Come up with an idea that gives you something that you're really happy with, because you only have a couple of prints left. Don't make this one of those, let's see how fast I can get it out. Think about, what do I need to do to have something that I'm going to be proud of and something that I would like to frame up and keep. Thank you. I would like to address something that I'm seeing quite a bit that I think we need to move past, and that's referring to line drawings that are simply cut out on a dark background. That's a very, I wouldn't say primitive, but it's a very elementary way of printmaking, and we should be past that at this point. Here's some examples. Okay? And so what they did was they drew out a line drawing, and they simply cut out the lines. And that was okay for your first few prints maybe, but at this point, we need to start thinking about positive and negative space, balance and things. Right now, because everything's so dark, there's no real balance to it as far as contrasting lights and darks and things like that. This is another example of a very, very simple still life. It says landscape. It's simply a tree. And because everything is just a solid color with that simple line drawing cut out, it's not real exciting. Another example, okay, here's somebody's golfer, and it's just a very simple sketch. And so we need to start thinking past that. Let me show you an example of another work. Okay, this student cut out all the background around the trees. And let's talk about, for instance, positive and negative space. You have this positive space that comes through here and this negative space through here. Very nice balance that way. Also, you have a tree here leading you into a row of trees. That's giving you movement into the composition. The other thing is rhythm. Because of all the different trees, you've got a rhythm that's starting to build here. And so there's a lot of nice things happening. It's still a very simple print, but so much more advanced than the ones that I just showed you. So I want you to start thinking past the draw out a simple sketch and just cut it out. That quite often is somebody who's just trying to get the work done and seeing how fast they can whip these things out. I want you to start thinking a little bit more advanced. Start thinking about all the different elements of design. Start working those in, and don't have just a dark print with a few lines cut out.